What is going on, everyone? My name is Jared Haas, and welcome to the Best Seat the Track. I am your host, and after a week off for the All-Star Weekend, we are back for the Coca-Cola 600 weekend. Joining me this weekend is our ARCA contributor, Trenton Worsham. And Trenton, we got to recap this Xfinity race too. JR Motorsports was the dominant team of the race weekend, but with about 25 laps to go, Allgaier and Josh Berry were racing pretty aggressively too. My thought is, I want to hear your thoughts as well too. Do you think they were being too aggressive throughout the whole race and during that end of that, or was that just the right amount aggressive, trying to battle for that lead?
When I spoke with Allgaier and some other media members were speaking with Allgaier on pit road afterwards, I want to say he said he didn't get into him, like there's no contact, like he just kind of got into the wall. Asking about them racing teammates because JR is stacked and they're all battling each other every weekend. Sometimes they said that sometimes you got to forget it's your teammates. Some of them said it's fun, you just want to you want to beat your teammates. It was hard racing, and neither one of them, especially Allgaier, didn't seem too upset about it. So,
I mean, once you have a competitive, team like JR Motorsports that are finishing 3 of the 4 cars, or at Dover, it was similar to Dover where they had their cars in the top 5. There's a lot of bragging rights going into the win too. I think some of the restarts was a little aggressive too, but getting near to the end, Allgaier and Josh Berry, those were the 2 drivers that were going to win, and Allgaier was the one that made a mistake. Berry cruised to almost a half-lap win. So that's pretty interesting with the Xfinity race. We'll see how JR Motorsports continues on. But now I want to transition to the Cup Series too. Talk about a little bit about Trackhouse Racing, and we did confirm this, as you confirmed this as well. Frontstretch confirms that Daniel Suarez will be back in 2023 with Trackhouse Racing. But their big news of the week is their PROJECT91 bringing in road course drivers to do a part-time car in the number 91, and one of them was already announced. My question is, do you think this program is beneficial to Trackhouse Racing, having these part-time road courses?
I don't think it's beneficial to Trackhouse. I think it's beneficial to NASCAR in general. We've seen the success Drive to Survive has had with Formula One, and anytime NASCAR or anybody puts out that type of content, people eat it up. I remember last year, for the first few weeks or so, Trackhouse had almost like their own documentary series, documenting Suarez at his house, and practice, that kind of thing. But it was all made from Trackhouse. And so I think anything that can expose a global audience to NASCAR and our sport is a great thing. And it gets those guys, their fans, the fans of those sports, Formula One fans, or, say if some MotoGP guys come and race, those fans into it. So it kind of will elevate NASCAR's respect in a way as well as a motorsport, getting some of the best drivers in the world and different disciplines to come over here and try to wheel these stock cars around ovals, and not ovals, but road courses. But unless it's the Roval, then it's like half and half. So, but yeah, I think it's a great thing for Trackhouse and NASCAR in general.
And we had Daniel Suarez comment on that situation on the news, and let's hear that right here.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. That's something that I have loved about Trackhouse since day one, that they always think outside the box and they're always trying to be innovating and always trying to do things different. And I like that, I feel like that's one of the reasons why Trackhouse has been as successful as it has. So it's been a lot of fun. I have always felt that I'm probably the only one in the entire NASCAR garage that has a different background, just coming from Mexico. So it's gonna feel very good, having the PROJECT91, having drivers from everywhere, from all these different disciplines. They're gonna feel like me. So it's pretty cool. I'm excited about it.
All right, now those comments are pretty interesting. PROJECT91, my thoughts on it too. The first announcement, Kimi Räikkönen. Räikkönen's actually ran in NASCAR back in 2011. He ran the number 15 in Truck Series and for NASCAR Motorsports at Charlotte Motor Speedway, ironically. Wasn't relatively over-impressive, It kind of reminds me of the IndyCar invasion that we saw with Montoya, Hornish, a few other drivers, Patrick Carpentier, Dario Franchitti. We'll see how it goes. I think it's a good marketing tool. Trackhouse, pretty decent team. We'll see with the third part-time team if they're going to contend for a win or it's just good exposure. But this ain't bad exposure, especially for international fans trying to bring in F1 fans in. But we'll see on that, too. Trenton, we got to get to my favorite part of the weekend. It's our picks of the race, and let me show our standings. 2 weeks ago, I picked Ross Chastain to win, and 2 weeks ago we had, it was at Kansas, and it was Tyler Reddick that Daniel McFadden picked. Reddick didn't really have a good race. I get the point, so you still get the lead on who's going to pick for your pick to survive the 600 miles at Charlotte Motor Speedway and claim the trophy.
It is a race of attrition. It is different than all these other races. The equipment is better than what it had been, in the 2000s and 90s. And so we don't see like engine failures every race like we used to. Tires are a big concern because of the tire failures we've had just in normal 400-mile races, 500-mile races, and then we're going 600 miles. But all in all, with all that said and done, I'm going to get – I guess he's not really an outside pick, but I like Kurt Busch. I believe he's sitting second behind Denny Hamlin. The Toyotas last 3 weeks or so have shown incredible speed. I asked Denny in his pole-winning press conference about that, and he said they've had speed a mile and a half all year, referring back to Las Vegas as an example. But I just think that I just think Kurt Busch could be a winner, get another win this season, especially with how well the Toyotas are doing. And he's a veteran of the sport. He's been in it since 2001. So last driver to race with Dale Earnhardt. So I think he's a guy that can come out and win this.
Definitely experienced. Kurt Busch definitely is. And we had a poll on our YouTube page, and we had 3,300 votes as we were recording this right now on Saturday night, too, that 29% of you said that Kyle Larson's going to win. Obviously, this was before the practice incident where he wasn't able to qualify. Still a good pick, and I do like the inertia and quality. I think Kurt Busch, he usually gets a win that's like his semi-dominant win of the year and gets it out of the way. Atlanta, like I said, last year was one of them. This year at Kansas. I don't think he's going to win the 600. I think it's going to be, your championship contenders. And that's why I'm going to go with William Byron that's going to win this race. I think Hendrick Motorsports has performed well, and this is a type of race that I think Byron can capitalize. Hendrick Motorsports ran good last year, too. I think they had at least 3 of the top 4, not 4 of the top 5. They were pretty dominant here last year. So I'm still going to stick with Willie B. He's going to win here at the Coca-Cola 600. But we will see that at Sunday tonight. Trenton, it was great to have you on here on the Best Seat the Track here. And from everyone here at Frontstretch.com, make sure to subscribe so that way you can get that content and exclusive interviews and content here. And from everyone here at Frontstretch, have a great race weekend.